You know, Bob, it is almost expected here in the spring that qualifying will yield some surprises. Row 2 starters, Dick Trickle and Darrell Waltrip, proved that you can be just as fast after you turn 50 as before. But the big surprise is up front, where 28-year-old rookie Robbie Gordon claimed the pole in just his 12th Winston Cup start. Yes, the already talent-rich Winston Cup pool gets richer as rookies like Robbie Gordon surface as rising stars. Jack?
Well, who knows? Maybe they take some of those tons they got a target and send some down to Chad Knaus.
Well, if you remember when Tony Stewart and Regan Smith and Paul Menard came off turn 4 here to see who was going to win the race, there were 2 DEI cars that I thought were going to jump all over on smoke. One of them did, just happened to get a little low on the track.
This is definitely a pole run for Montoya.
50.89, that's 5/100ths faster than Sam Hornish.
Actually kind of surprised we're on pole. You know, we know we got always a really good race car here. But, you know, getting our first pole, it's big. You know, it takes a lot of weight out of everybody's shoulder, and it shows where, you know, where the team is heading, and it's very encouraging.
3 Dodges in the top 5. Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace, and Mayfield.
Looks pretty good here, Mike, but right there is where he lost it a while ago. Going to be awfully close. Looks pretty solid right now. It's going to be real close. Third quickest for Jeremy, 1966. 19606.
How close is real close? 2/100ths of a second. So Scott Riggs had to sweat it out. He beats Newman by 3/1000ths. He beats Mayfield by 2/100ths. Scott Riggs will start on the Bud pole.
And things appear to be in good shape for Kurt Busch. Casey Mears on the pole. Qualifying rained out yesterday afternoon. New rules put into place at the beginning of last season. The first practice session speeds determine the starting order of the field. So Casey Mears, in a huge break for the Germain Racing team, will lead this field to the green flag. He's chosen the outside lane.
They'll go wherever helicopters go.
Yeah, exactly. Rick Mast winning his very first pole position in Winston Cup competition. 28 drivers have led a lap in 1992, but not Rick Mast. He has not led a race since Darlington in September of last year. Let's see if he does lead lap number 1.
Quite a shock when Rick Mast won the pole position on qualifying Friday afternoon.
It's kind of a win-win for this crowd. I mean, the Yates cars are obviously powered by Yates engines, but so are the Roush cars, and you got one sitting there on the pole right now.
Just look right here. The RPM and the miles per hour hardly changes, just like we talk, wide open all the way around this racetrack, never lifting the throttle.
Yates has 7 front row starts at Daytona, and David Gilliland goes to the top of the chart by 1/4 of a second.
I've said I've been pinching myself for about the last 8 months, and I ain't going to quit anytime soon, obviously. Real proud. I mean, the guys brought a great M&M's Ford Fusion here this weekend, and Todd Parrott, you know, with all his experience and success he's had here, and Yates, Robert Yates and Doug Yates, boy, the engine package and the car that all the guys in the shop have prepared for me to come out here today is just unbelievable. And how about Mars, Snickers and M&M's front row for the Daytona 500? That's awesome, man. We're just real glad that we could step up like they stepped up and sponsored our team, and hopefully this will be a great start to a great relationship. And
So new pole sitter in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. First time ever for Dakota Armstrong to be on pole. Came out on top of a very chaotic and rain-shortened qualifying session earlier.
All right, Bud, the good news is, and the fortunate thing is, with all the rain and cloud cover and everything we've had, I think you can expect handling just like it was in February. Expect a whole night of 2-tire stops and whatever we need for fuel. 10-4.
Also here, just a reminder, initial start is on the flag. Starter always taps the flag waiver right before he gives it, so I'll let you know when he does. When he does, we'll be able to take off.
Absolutely, Hermie, and I think you're right. That is a good pit stall over there, but this one's much better. This is pit stall number 1, and Cale Gale's in it. He's on the pole today in the Ream Chevrolet, and I'll tell you what, Cale Gale's very excited about getting on this Bristol racetrack. He loves short track racing, believes he's got a shot at the win.
He and everyone else will be chasing from the pole a man they have never chased before. He drives this bright yellow, number 30 Pennzoil Pontiac out of the Bahari Racing Stables. Friday afternoon, 97 degrees. He covered this 1-mile oval in 15 seconds, over 143 miles per hour. On his 160th try, 28-year-old Michael Waltrip, Darrell's little brother, won his first ever Winston Cup pole. A milestone in your career you'll never forget.
Well, it's a big part of what we do. You know, we try to win races and we try to win poles. And winning a pole is difficult. You've got to be the fastest for one lap. You know, you almost need to be perfect to do it. And it took me 160 times to be perfect, but I finally did it. So we're looking forward to the race.
Let's have a look at the starting lineup for today's 500-miler. A big surprise. Joe Nemechek, one of the go or go home qualifiers. Front row Joe put it on the pole, knocking Tony Stewart off the pole and to second. As you look at the starting lineup, Darrell, let's check in with the front row.
Joe Nemechek, it's a DW in the Fox Sports booth, but he got a copy. Joe Nemechek, DW, you got a copy?
10-4, DW.
Joe, you got a beautiful race car, National Day of Prayer. Got a lot of people praying for you. How much did you compromise the car for the race, Joe, to set on the pole?
Actually, there's not much. You know, the first stop there, we got to stop and put one belt back on the front of the motor, which is going to hurt us a little bit on track position, but that's about it. I mean, what we have is pretty much race trim.